Hello and welcome to Underpaid Gamers Podcast. My name is Justin. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Tony.
Hello.
We are the official podcast of underpaidgamers.com. And we're coming at you today with our list of great games and terrible games that have been delayed.
Essentially the ramifications of delays.
Yeah, we're looking into that.
Let's look into it.
That's so bad.
And here we are.
Okay, here we go, guys. So, this week...
What
happened?
You're missing the whole...
Dude, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I know what happens. Okay, I got it.
What happens after the intro?
We are the official podcast of underpaidgamers.com. If you'd like to hear more about us, check our Twitter account at UP Gamers Podcast. And you can send us an email.
There's not a question mark in that, in case you're wondering.
Then you can send us an email at underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. You can...
Are you new to this podcast?
Subscribe
Have you been doing this?
No, I'm doing it right now. You're just like, too much pressure. Yeah, YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. Underpaid Gamers.
What's our... Oh, okay.
So you can check that out. Subscribe. We're on iTunes and Google Play and SoundCloud. And we're glad you're here. So...
That's what's really important.
We are glad that you're here. So, Tony, before we hit up our topic of evaluating game delays and if they've caused success or failure for some, tell me.
Well, obviously they have.
What have you been up to?
As I've talked about, last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever, we built a PC. I'm feeling right now it's kicking out cold air. I like that.
That's right.
I've never once felt it kick out anything but cooler than warm room temperature air.
Which is a good sign.
So I got a Steam account. Never had one before. I've been playing all these games. No, that's not true. I've been downloading all these games. I've only been playing Skyrim, and I want to play other games. But I know
Skyrim,
that if I stop playing Skyrim, I'm not going to go back. Well, I'm also having a lot of fun with Skyrim.
Yeah.
But one of our listeners has recommended that I start playing Duelist, which is, I think what appeals to both him and I is that it's like Hearthstone meets Fire Emblem. It's something that we'll have to play together. I just recently found out, because we're now friends on Steam, that his Steam account name and every other name that goes with it is Argyle Arson.
Yep.
And I've always read it, because there's no capitalization, as Argy Learson.
Oh my gosh.
And even though there's a space and there's a capital letter on Steam, I still read it as Argy Learson whenever I see it.
Argyle Larson.
That's funny.
Oh man, it's like my gamer tag.
And I've called him that before on the podcast. I don't know if he's called it. I don't know if he's caught it. Maybe he hasn't. He didn't say anything. But I will always know him as Argy Learson.
Argy Learson. Man.
But yours, Desert Foxy.
Yeah, it's Desert Fox XI, as in like 11 Roman numerals. But I made it when I was like 11 years old or something like that.
Yeah, but there's also someone on Steam, the Desert Foxy, and I sent you a picture of it.
Yeah, I know.
And I didn't know which one was you.
So, yeah, he makes fun of me for that. It's one of those things, it's like, once you make a gamer tag, do you keep it? I mean, I feel like if I make a new one, I lose all of the trophies that I had.
I made a new one. College. I've had...
Yeah, but it makes me so sad.
3 or 4. I've had 3.
I want to keep a record of every game I've played.
That's true.
And it's nice to be able to look through it all. So
that's true.
If Sony would just let me change my gamer tag slightly, I would.
Just slightly.
I'd just make it like Desert Fox XV or something.
The Desert Fox... Man, people keep talking about Final Fantasy Tactics, and I was looking to see if I could play it online on my computer, and I cannot. It's not on Steam. People talk about Final Fantasy Tactics like it's the best game ever created. I'm like, have you played Fire Emblem?
Final Fantasy Tactics is good.
Aren't they similar?
Yeah. To some extent.
Is it better than Fire Emblem?
Tactics came out before Fire Emblem, I believe. Because the first Tactics came out on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, but the first Fire Emblem that we got in the States was like the third or fourth Fire Emblem to exist.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Everyone is always like, man, Final Fantasy came out before all this stuff. I'm like, not in Japan. And maybe that doesn't matter. But it has to go on record that Final Fantasy has stolen a lot of ideas from a lot of game companies before them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Essentially, Dragon Quest was Final Fantasy before Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy.
Dragon Quest is essentially Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but Dragon Quest came first.
Dragon Quest came out before Final Fantasy?
Yes.
The first one?
Yeah. Dragon Warrior.
Oh, dude, Dragon Warrior was awesome.
That's what it is. That's what Dragon Quest became.
Oh.
Dragon Warrior 2 was also Dragon Quest.
But they're the same company now, so... And they have been since, like, the 90s.
That doesn't...
Squaresoft,
Yeah?
Square Enix.
Yeah. But...
Same thing.
That doesn't matter.
Why doesn't that matter?
So the...
They evolved. If we can use a Pokemon reference. They evolved.
That's
or
not
no,
true.
no. The Dragon Ball Z, they fused. They fused together.
Well, that doesn't mean that everything that's happened before them... Okay, so I'll use an example
tanks.
from my out-of-podcast life.
Okay.
The Marriott company just bought Sandalwood or something like that, hotels.
Okay.
So now Marriott's like the largest hotel company in the world. But that doesn't mean that before that, Marriott can take credit for everything that Sandalwood did. So Final Fantasy can't take credit for everything that Dragon Quest did just because now they're owned by the same company. And maybe, if you look at it the other way, Dragon Quest now owns... The Dragon Quest company now owns Final Fantasy.
Except for I don't think that's how the purchasing happened.
I don't know, I have to look into it.
Yeah, I don't remember. Either way, it doesn't matter. Dragon Quest is great. Final Fantasy is great.
Dragon Quest is great.
You've barely played Final Fantasy, so you can't even make a good judgment.
I have 8 downloaded on my computer.
I know you do.
Because I'm playing your games, because you signed on.
Because we're family now.
Yeah. And
thanks, team.
You had 7 and you had 8. And everyone always talks about 7, and I'm like, I don't want to play that.
Right. See, that's the thing with Final Fantasy games. I think there's too much expectation now.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you didn't like play it growing up.
Final Fantasy 15, expectations much?
Hey, my expectations for Final Fantasy 15 are not the same as they were for No Man's Sky.
Have you gotten to the center of the universe yet?
No.
Can I tell you what's there?
No! You ask me every episode.
When was the last time you played
2 weeks ago.
No Man's Sky?
2 weeks ago. I'm playing through, what is it?
Heavy Rain.
Tales of...
Exilia? Dysentria. Dysentery. Oregon Trail.
No, this is not Oregon Trail. Tales of something.
Tales of Sonic.
Why can't I think of that?
It's a PS3 game. No, it's a PS4 game. It's a
PS4
JRPG.
game. Tales of Zestria is what it's called.
Exodia?
No, Zestria. Gosh dang it. So, yeah.
So that's what you're playing right now.
That's what I'm playing right now.
Tell me about that.
Really though, I've been.
Do I really need to talk about Skyrim? Who hasn't played Skyrim?
I don't know. At this point, if you haven't played Skyrim,
here's the thing.
you need to stop listening and go play Skyrim.
Playing Skyrim, and for the very first time, I'm doing the Companions Guild quest. I've never done that before in my life. It's the first guild you run into. I've never done it. I've always skipped over it.
Huh. Oh yeah, I remember them.
So there's that. So you're playing this JRPG Tales of Exodia.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's entertaining.
By entertaining, you mean you can fidget with your hands while you watch Netflix?
Essentially, that's the point of it. I wanted it because I wanted the classic JRPG.
Wait, so when you play a JRPG and you're watching Netflix and there's a cutscene, do you pause Netflix?
Yes.
Interesting.
So I've been playing that. It's an RPG, and it's over the top, and the voice acting is really bad, and all the characters are really
Is it translated bad?
one-dimensional. They're all very the same. Though I haven't played it long enough to see unique character development, so maybe it's just I've only put maybe put 7 hours on it since I got it, so I'm not super far into it, but I don't know. I feel like it's pretty simple.
It's there.
I'm playing it, and I'm probably going to beat it.
Really?
Probably.
Why?
Because I bought it.
So?
And it's mildly entertaining enough to get me to do it.
I guess. That just seems... Why would you do it if you don't like it?
I mean, it's not that bad, I guess.
There's so many other games that I have that you can play that I recommended to you that are top-notch.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have these awesome reactions.
I would have awesomer reactions because I would say, what did you think about the ending to Bioshock? And you'd say, I don't know. I finally actually beat it.
I already know
Let
the
me
ending
tell
of
you.
Bioshock. I already know the ending of Bioshock.
Tell me the ending of Bioshock.
The guy who's been helping you the whole time betrays you, and actually...
That's the ending of every video game.
Yeah, well, that's the end of that one.
No.
Yeah.
Bioshock's about so much more than that.
I know.
Heavy Rain, you have no idea what happens in that.
That's true. I don't.
I'm
assuming somebody dies.
Dishonored, you have no idea what happens in that.
Yeah, I have no idea about anything on Dishonored.
Sly Cooper?
Yeah, I'm not gonna play.
It's a platformer.
I know.
You would hate it.
My worst. If you listen to this podcast, you know that my Achilles heel in any game is any platforming section. When we would play Destiny, the first raid, there was this platforming section, and it would always take me like twice as long as everyone else.
The Vault of Glass, even after you figure out how to cheat it.
I know. I couldn't even cheat it right because I'm just so bad.
Infamous? You don't know what happens in it. Gosh. You're sitting here playing an RPG that you don't even enjoy. I mean, you feel obligated to beat it because you paid money for it.
It's alright.
You feel obligated to beat these games because they're good games.
Yeah, maybe. I still want to beat Uncharted 4, but I haven't bought it yet because I don't have any money.
It's right there.
Dude, I want to buy it.
I don't blame you.
I want to support Naughty Dog, but I don't have the money yet, so...
Because you bought this stupid...
Yeah, the JRPG was $30. Uncharted 4 is still $60.
That's half of it.
Yeah.
But now instead of being halfway there, you're back at 0.
True. But now I have something to twiddle my thumbs with during Netflix. And I didn't.
Yeah, well, you're just watching The Walking Dead, which
is so good right now. It was so bad. So I've had, like, each season of Walking Dead is pretty different in terms of if it's good or bad to me. The first season was good, and the second season was bad.
The second season was on the farm.
And the second season just took forever. I got tired of it. And then the third season happened, and that was pretty intense.
The third season was The Governor?
Yeah.
The beginning of The Governor.
It was the beginning of it all.
He wasn't over with until, like, the middle of the fourth season.
Yeah, so it's like the prison, essentially. They make their way into the prison in the second, or in the third and fourth. And then after the fourth, they essentially leave, and they go to...
Wait, I'm not there yet. I'm in the middle of the fourth season, I think.
So you don't want me to tell you?
I guess.
It's just a place called Terminus.
Oh, I don't know what that is. I have not seen that yet.
There's like signs. They follow signs there. I won't tell you what happens there, but
instead of... So you're almost caught up on The Walking Dead?
I'm almost up to date.
How about instead you watch Breaking Bad when you're done with that? At least do one of my recommendations. These are valid recommendations.
Tony, I bought the Uncharted collection because of you. And it was a good game purchase.
Good? It was just good?
No, it was great. It was great, Tony.
Okay.
It was a good recommendation.
Did you play Ratchet & Clank?
I did, and it was awesome.
There you go.
It was so much fun.
I'm 2 for 2.
I know.
I have not steered you wrong yet.
True, but I don't want to buy it yet. I don't have money. Ah!
Did I say Bioshock?
I have Bioshock, actually.
I meant to say, when you're done watching The Walking Dead, watch Breaking Bad.
That is what you said.
Yeah, do that. That doesn't cost you any money.
I know. That show was ruined, though, for me, because I listened to the whole thing because my roommate in college, who, you know, watched all of it, but he watched it, like, really late at night, and so I'd, like, watch the first episode of the night with him, but then he would keep, like, binge-watching it until, like, 3 or 4, and I would be asleep.
Yeah.
And so I would, like, fall asleep listening to the whole thing. So I kind of know what happens already. And I've seen the last episode.
You don't know what happens.
I've seen the last episode.
The last episode is so different from the whole rest of the story.
All I hear is people saying that the last episode of Breaking Bad is the best.
I don't agree with that.
That's what I heard.
I think if the last episode is like episode 21 of season 5, episode 15 is like the episode that won all the awards for Breaking Bad of season 5. That's kind of where the last episode is kind of like an epilogue to the whole thing. And you're like, that's all right. It's the end of season 4 and the beginning half of season 5 is where it really picks up and where it's really good. After that, it's all just whatever.
I'll probably watch it eventually.
Gosh. Everything about you.
Tony.
Awful.
You love me.
I'm not agreeing to that.
Get over it.
I just used you so I could get your video games on Steam.
Yeah, get over it.
I need to play Civ 5 or Age of Empires.
Dude, Civ 5 is so good. Age of Empires is good too. But good in the morning.
Did they have like an Age of Empires but for like the Revolutionary War?
Mm-hmm.
What about the American Civil War?
I haven't seen one for that. Like Revolutionary War time, there's Age of Empires 3, which is like...
Really?
Yeah, it's more like colonial era.
What empire is that? The American Empire?
No.
I'm not an empire yet.
British Empire.
British Empire?
Spanish Empire.
French?
Yeah, sure.
No one expects the French Inquisition.
Nobody does. The French. Wait. So, yeah, you said Bioshock earlier.
I did.
And that is going to be my segue into what I'm about to say. Did you know Bioshock 1 was delayed?
Okay.
Did it find success?
By hefty amount?
It was delayed, I believe, by like 3 months. So
that doesn't matter.
Not a huge hit.
That's not a big thing.
That's not a big one, but
those delays are like, yeah, take some more time, and get the game right.
Mm-hmm.
There's other delays that are like year-long delays.
Mm-hmm.
Things that come to mind recently would be Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts 3. Although Kingdom Hearts 3 is not technically delayed, it's just never coming out.
They just haven't said when it's going to release. They never set a date.
They never set a date. Kingdom Hearts 2.8, Final Chapter Prologue, is getting delayed. So like Horizon Zero Dawn, which is the game I'm most excited for, it was supposed to come out this fall. Is now coming out in February. So that's 3, 4, 5 month delay. But I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah. Because
there hasn't been any signs of decay on that.
Okay.
And BioShock, I assume, would probably be the same way. Although I don't remember when BioShock came out. I got BioShock in Blockbuster in the bargain bin, brand new, for $20.
Nice. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
So what I'm pulling out of what you just said, is that short delays may not be.
Short delays aren't make or break for a game company.
Yeah, but a long delay would.
Could possibly be.
Could more likely to be.
Uncharted 4 was delayed 2 or 3 times, a couple months at a time.
Yeah.
But Uncharted 4, as you know... Wait a second,
I don't know!
Anyway, for everybody that has played the game, which is everybody else in the world...
No, that's not true.
My wife has played the game.
Okay. Maybe everybody...
You're getting outplayed by a girl.
That's okay.
That doesn't play video games.
Dude, she plays video games. I've seen her play them all the time.
She's actually playing Tomb Raider right now.
That's so cool.
Not right now, but she's in the middle of it.
I love it.
I convinced her to do it.
I like it. So, a perfect example
That's why there's
of a long delay.
There's a gap in my game collection. It's really bothering me.
I see that gap. Are you OCD right now?
It's been like that for a while. Every time I look up there, I'm like, oh, that's rough. Look how neat and tidy everything is. Everything's like perfectly portioned off.
Yep. Either way,
listeners at home can't see it.
Transition. I know they're like, what are they talking about? They don't even know.
My shelf of video games. Everyone has a shelf of video games. If you don't, you're doing something wrong. Do you have a shelf of video games?
Yeah. Duh.
You kind of do.
I have like two. I have like.
It's in your closet.
I have a little. Well, I have that, and then I also have a little alcove that's full, and then I have on top of my entire desk, I've got like a bunch of them. So, what I'm thinking.
Can I make a bookshelf on Steam of all the games I have? They should invest in something like that.
No, like a virtual one?
Yeah.
That would be nice. No, they just have the tiles. I always do a list because the tiles look dumb to me.
Anyway. You can proceed now. I'm
okay. Are you done?
All done being distracted.
Okay.
I guess.
Games over multiple consoles. Games delayed over multiple consoles.
Give me an example.
The game is called Too Human. Have you heard of this game? It was an Xbox 360 exclusive.
I think so.
This game was pretty interesting.
Do you need your notes?
I do. If you scroll down, please. Thank you.
There it is.
Too Human began its development in 1999.
What?
And was released in 2008. So it took 9 years.
Okay, that's before the original Xbox came out.
Right. It was originally going to be on PlayStation.
Oh.
On 4 discs.
On 4 discs?
Yeah, dude.
What kind of game is this? RPG?
It is... No, it's more of an action, like hack 'em slash, but there is a little bit of an RPG element to it, because you can like customize your character and he gets XP and like you can grow in skill trees, but but you controlled like certain move sets and you just ran around and hacked and slashed and shot. Originally on PlayStation 1, then it switched to GameCube in 2000.
This is where it's intended to be?
Yeah. This is what they started developing for. Then after GameCube, they switched it to Xbox 360 in 2005. And then, I mean, part of this whole thing, too, and the reason it took so long is because there was, like, infighting within the production of the game.
The troops.
And Silicon Knights, which were the developers, sued Epic Games over a breach of contract. And they ended up actually having to, this is crazy, they ended up having to, once the settlement was reached, they had to refund all of the unsold copies of the games and destroy all the discs.
What?
That was the court order. And so this game is hard to find now because, I mean, they sold 780,000 copies.
Mm-hmm.
So there are 790,000 copies, which, seems like a lot. But all of those unsold copies that usually run for cheap after they've been out forever, and you find them in all those, like game exchanges and things.
Yeah.
They're pretty rare. And part of the problem with this game, not only did they have this court case that made them pull them off the shelves, it also got pretty bad reviews. I watched a couple reviews back from 2008 on YouTube.
65% average on Metacritic.
Yeah. From what I watched and what I read, this game had a pretty basic storyline. They used Norse mythology in this game. Said Norse mythology. Norse mythology.
Norse mythology.
Yep. And they kind of used those gods.
It's a legend of the guy that created Morse code.
Yes. He was a legendary man. He went boop, 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 boop.
R2-D2 is a distant ancestor.
Yeah, so they did that. They made this game, and it got poor reviews because of a lot of different reasons. They touted it with this co-op mode, and they had these classes in the game that would work well with others when you co-op, except for you could only have one person co-op with you instead of 4. And so nobody actually used half the classes that they had available because it didn't make sense to. There's a healer class that, I mean, what's the point of healing just one person?
Yeah.
Because you can just, in the game, when you kill characters, they drop health. So, might as well just have a bunch of offensive guys out there. The game was really linear, too. Took place in 4 different locations, and it was a linear track to go through. And while the art was really good, because it did look pretty interesting, some good stuff, it just had some pretty crappy gameplay. The best part of it was the loot system.
The loot.
It had a loot system in it, but it didn't. I don't know. It didn't follow through. The enemies leveled with you, so it never got easier.
So this game ever get trailers at E3 and won awards at E3 and things like that, or is this just kind of one of those that's got delayed indefinitely and went from system to system to system? They couldn't find a solid ground.
Yeah, it really did that. It jumped around all these systems. It had a lot of hype early on because the concept of the game resonated with people with trailers and when they announced the game. But it's just one of those things that once it finally came out, the product was just not there, and you could just you can kind of tell, it jumped through different generations of consoles, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. I mentioned that because I know this is next on your list.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll wait. We'll wait until we talk about that.
Okay, we're talking about.
You want to talk about it right now?
We can.
Is this another bad representation?
This is my.
Do you want to do a good representation?
Yeah, let's do a good one first, actually. So,
dude, that's right up your alley.
One of the good.
You want to start with this one?
Yeah, let's do that one. So there have been games that have been delayed multiple times and have actually come out actually being good. Half-Life is this franchise. Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 both were delayed heavily before they were released. And both of them have critical acclaim as one of the best games on PC.
See, I haven't played it yet. I want to.
And it looks really interesting. So I have on here, I looked up on Wikipedia some of the sales numbers. Sold over 12 million copies by February 9th of 2011. I don't know where it currently sits. I'm sure people will still buy this game, but a lot of times people buy games just because they want a digital copy now.
Yeah.
But either way, the game really struggled because Valve, which also makes Steam, which is really cool, they wanted to build their own engine for the game. So they essentially took the Unreal 3 engine, but made it their own. And so they rewrote a bunch of the code. It took forever to come out. But part of the drama of this release was that part of the game's source code was actually leaked when it unveiled at E3 in 2003. And so they had to delay the game for more than a year because they had the gaping security in the source code, and then also they wanted to just do some finishing touches. And the first Half-Life, actually, they almost released the game, and when they were doing quality assurance, they played the game and thought it was crap, so they remade it over the course of a year. So they remade the whole game in a year for the first Half-Life. So both of those Half-Life games were remade and were delayed, and both of them are known as like one of the coolest,
like the pinnacle of first-person shooters.
Yeah, it's like it's what defined the genre. They took the first Half-Life, for instance, took
Don't
a market.
Anything. Don't spoil anything for me.
It took the market, which at that point was saturated with the just shoot 'em up games like Doom and.
When did this come out?
The first one came out in 2001. I want to say 2000. The market had been saturated with all these shoot 'em up games, and Valve really wanted to take it. Yeah, and it was the Quake engine was actually the first Half-Life, not the Unreal 3. Unreal 3 was the second engine.
GoldenEye.
Yeah, and they wanted to make a game where you actually felt connected to characters, and that had a storyline that was worthwhile. So you felt like you're actually doing something.
Yeah. So all those games that you mentioned before are all like multiplayer games. Quake, Doom. Well, not Doom. Quake, GoldenEye.
Right.
Well, and Doom was there, and Doom kind of had a story, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, oh, it's hell.
Yeah.
Demons everywhere.
But this one had a story. So not only is it, like, the reason that it defined, again, this is coming from someone that hasn't played the game, the reason that this game is defined as genre bending is because it added a story aspect to a first-person shooter, which hadn't necessarily been done before in this way.
Right. For sure. So I would say that is a successful franchise. I don't know anybody who's not heard of it. Half-Life 3, people are still waiting for it.
Yeah.
Valve is known for making great games too. Half-Life being their very first one. The first Half-Life. And, I feel like, to me, it almost seems that the core component to making a game that's delayed successful is just having a good team and having solidarity together and unity. Because there's some of the games that, as I was researching, they had like switched from this developer to this developer and switched from here to here. And when you have all those switches and you lose part of your team, and that happens, which are a lot of the stories of this, it just kills it.
Two concurrent games that's happening to are Final Fantasy 15, where they changed directors and engines halfway through the system, and then also The Last Guardian, which has lost directors and writers and producers out throughout the whole 10 years. It's also been through like 3 different systems.
Right, and that's exactly what I was thinking.
So those haven't came out yet, but we'll see what happens.
I think it's a lot harder to be successful when you go through those things. And The Last Guardian specifically is what came to mind when I was reading through the 2 human stuff, and it was talking about jumping from platforms.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, that's the Last Guardian.
That's The Last Guardian. The Last.
That's not The Last.
Also on 2 systems.
But yeah, so that was one of the most successful ones for sure. Won a bunch of Game of the Year awards when it came out.
Dude, tell me about this game. I've never heard of before.
Another failure of gaming and delays is the game Tabula Rasa. It's an MMO that was slated to be the MMO to end all MMOs. It was supposed to be the best. It was supposed to have like groundbreaking combat, which it did. It did have it brought like a new type of combat to MMOs.
Was this supposed to be the MMOst?
Heyo. Yeah.
Proceed.
And it flopped. It was one of those things that it actually had pretty good reviews. From when I researched, I looked online to look up some of the reviews, and they weren't bad. They just suffered. They didn't have enough of a population. They delayed it a lot, and then in 2009 they closed their servers. So development began in 2001, got delayed a bunch, released November 2nd of 2007, and then it was done. Its servers closed in 2009. So
oh my gosh!
This MMO ran for 2 years.
I opened up a Google search tab, and the first one is the cover art, and the second one is a woman getting naked from the game.
Yeah, it was like a game character. So yeah, and this is one of those games that lost. It says when I researched it, found that 20% of its original team was gone, and they had to rewrite 75% of the code halfway through. So it was interesting. It did not work, and they tried to pay back their subs. They only had 75,000 subscribers, which might sound like a lot, but successful MMOs are the ones that break 1 million or more. Like, I think the highest subscription was like 6 or 7 million, if I'm remembering right, and that was World of Warcraft.
Was that concurrently?
Concurrently, 6 or 7 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
I know EVE Online has like 400,000 subscribers.
Oh.
So I mean, it's not one of the biggest ones, but it's one of the longer running ones. So it just flopped. You know.
What about DC Universe Online?
That one does not count. It's free to play.
Is this not?
No, it is. It's
Tabula Rasa.
Tabula Rasa. So that's it. It was like a futuristic kind of wasn't like fantasy based, it was more sci-fi based. And your actions as a player changed the fate of real-time battles going on against the NPC armies. It essentially was like the basis of it all. So yeah.
Hit me with a good one. Another good one. One that's popular.
So this would be one that you might have actually owned, because this is one of the higher selling games of all time, only to be beat by its successor.
That's right there.
He has it on his shelf. Grand Theft Auto 4.
It's a PS3 red case. Yeah, the red case is classic.
It was originally announced at E3 in 2006 and ended up getting delayed. And it was going to be released in October 2007, but it took over 3 years by the end of it, and they didn't finish it. So they eventually did and release it, and they sold 25 million copies, which is as of November 2012. And 25 million copies is like a lot. That is more than many states in the United States population. That would mean like every single person.
It would have been more than the United States. Like, yeah, there's 50.
No.
Yes, Justin.
No, 25 million. That's a pretty big number of copies there sold.
But even this one isn't that long of a delay.
No, it's just a shorter delay.
October 2007 to April 2008, 6 months.
Yeah, but it was a delay nonetheless. I mean, I didn't find that many good ones that had the long delays.
See, most games, on average, take about 3 years to develop. That can be really good. About the same with movies. So this says Grand Theft Auto 4 took like 3 years. GTA 5 took about 3 years. GTA 5 is like the highest selling video game.
Yeah, and that one hit like 40 million, I think I was looking at it, which is absolutely ridiculous.
All the Uncharted and The Last of Us all took about 2.5 years to 3 years maybe to make. Fallout 4? What was the time between Skyrim and Fallout 4? That had been like 3 years.
Skyrim and Fallout 4?
Yeah.
I want to say it's a little bit longer than that.
Nah.
Yeah, because I got Skyrim the year it came out.
That would have been our sophomore year of college.
Yeah, and Fallout 4 came out this year.
This year. That's 3 years. 4 years?
Sophomore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 years is how long that took.
6 years?
Dude, it's been 6 years since sophomore year.
I don't believe you.
Okay. You can do the math
anyway,
later if you want.
So, why don't I just look it up? Talk about something else while I look this up.
That's probably
sing
a
a
good
song.
idea. I don't want to sing a song. So, Grand Theft Auto 4 delayed,
released,
and very successful. So again, this is my theory. It depends on the team, not
2011
on the delay. Because a good company like Valve can take a long delay and make a good product, as opposed to a bad team sometimes even takes a short delay and it still doesn't fix anything. I'm thinking
5
like
years.
Assassin's Creed.
I didn't hear what you said. Also, this is a little thing of news that I saw that I didn't write down because I didn't do anything for the podcast this week.
Okay.
Ubisoft has said, Oopsiesoft has said that they don't have any plans on releasing Assassin's Creed in 2017 either. They said they're going to release it when it's ready.
About time.
Which again kind of has the same, like, since we're talking about delays, that happened. But they also said they weren't going to release anything in 2016, and now they're coming out with the Ezio collection. So can you really take them for their word?
Right, but that's not like any new work. That's just rehashing old stuff.
It still takes a team.
True, but it's not making like new content.
I guess.
I don't know. I am not happy with Ubisoft, and they should have delayed their games, Unity and Syndicate, because Unity
Syndicate was
broken.
well received.
Syndicate, how it was launched with a bunch of bugs, though. It was pretty buggy on its launch,
Just on
at least
PC?
from what I've read.
I was thinking about this today. This kind of goes along with delays. We used to. I think we're in a privileged. What's the word that people always use with millennials? Entitled. We're in a privileged and entitled state of gaming right now, where if a game has an issue with it when it's launched, if the game's not perfect when it's launched, we flip. We flip our lids. And we used to, PS2 era, maybe even PS3 era, around those generations, if a game was broken when it came out, you just dealt with it. And not even so much broken, but like if there's glitches, like all the Mario games have game-breaking glitches in them, right? That's how they do speedruns. Everything is game-breaking glitches, and nobody's like, this game sucks. Everyone's like, I've learned how to live with this. That's just part of it. But now, if there's a game where, I mean, obviously for Unity as an example, is like you fall to the floor and all this other stuff happens and things like that. But even that, like, even in a game like Melee, there's glitches that are prevalent in just regular play and the competitive scene, which we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. I think we're in an entitled state right now where we think if the game's not perfect when it comes out, it's awful. But at the same time, maybe we have such technology at our fingertips and so much, it's easier for things to happen that maybe games should be perfect when they get released. Maybe there shouldn't be a day one update.
Well, I think a lot of the times when we get upset about a game launching with a bunch of bugs, a lot of time, I mean, I'm just thinking of like Arkham Knight.
PC.
On PC. I'm thinking of Assassin's Creed Unity, because that's my most recent experience with just like a broken game that I got so frustrated with because I tried and replay the mission over and over again and tried different ways just to avoid the bug that happened where I would just like stopped and had to restart the whole game, like it just crashed the game. Like those types of things should not happen on a released game. They just shouldn't. Like if you're just playing the game normally and then the game crashes because of some bad code or something. My issue is with like Oopsiesoft and EA, you know, the big old titans of grossness in the gaming industry. They're so regimented and they're so much in the business cycle. They want to release games at the exact same time every year, trying to churn out product, and their quality suffers because of it. And we still buy it because they're franchises that were really good. And for nostalgia's sake, we continue to buy it. I'm done with Assassin's Creed. I don't buy it anymore.
Maybe. What's your favorite time of history?
I don't know.
Roman Empire?
Maybe.
The feudal Japan?
Maybe.
What if they came out with a feudal Japan Assassin's Creed?
That'd be pretty cool.
You want to buy it?
But I probably, as soon as I jumped off a building, I'd probably fall through the ground. It would have to come out and be successful and not buggy.
Yeah, but the best way to combat that is just don't buy it on release day.
Right, and I mean that's part like we as a community of gamers complain about
consumers.
So what did I say?
Community of gamers.
Same thing.
Same thing.
For this conversation, same thing. We complain about these perfect games, but yeah, we pre-order games.
Yeah, we do.
Which is giving them money for a game that hasn't even been released yet. So I think we're as much to blame about it.
But at the same time, you're talking about Final Fantasy 15. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah, sure.
You're talking about Final Fantasy 15 about how you pre-ordered it.
I did.
And we talk about, pre-orders are awful because that gives money to people, and maybe they didn't have enough money to finish the game, and now you pre-order it, now they do. You only gave $5. And that goes like pretty much directly to GameStop. I don't even know if Square Enix gets any of that. I doubt they do. It's probably just
pre-order?
Yeah, the $5 pre-order.
I mean, I think they get it in the end. I don't think they get it like as soon as I pre-order $5. I'm sure they get it.
Yeah, eventually, because the game will be $5 cheaper. But immediately, they're not getting $5 to finish the game.
That's true.
Or even if and that's just the weird thing. Everyone's like, don't pre-order because why would you pre-order a game if you're going to give the money to a company? Blah 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 blah.
But I'm sure they let them know how many pre-orders there are.
Yeah. But
for production's sake, and that also makes them guarantee this many.
That
companies.
didn't happen with No Man's Sky because they said there's no way that we would have known how many people were playing this on day one. Yes, you did. You know how many you produced. You know how many pre-orders there were.
No Man's Sky is a special case because they're all a bunch of chuckleheads.
Dude, I got some things to say about No Man's Sky.
And they pushed these expectations on us. and crushed our spirits.
Would you pre-order a game from a game company that you respected? Comes to mind Bethesda. Comes to mind
Well,
Naughty Dog.
and I think to go back to my original point about these
Comes
game
to
delays,
mind Call of Duty. Call of Duty as a game, although the gameplay has changed, the game itself are normally rather flawless.
Yeah, there haven't been any like game-breaking
There haven't.
anythings that I can ever remember.
Any Call of Duty that I remember. The only game-breaking thing was when they broke my heart when Brooklyn died at the end of Call of Duty Big Red 1.
Yeah.
Talk about that a lot.
R.I.P.
Rip Brooklyn.
Yeah, you know, and I think I think we just need to have more loyalty to the good game companies and less loyalty to the bad ones. I think that's what this means. Same thing, like with game delays too. Good companies, it doesn't matter how much they're delayed, they end up doing a good job. Half-Life is my example, right? If it's a bad company or one that we just don't know very well, isn't well respected, hasn't shown...
Hello Games from No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it hasn't shown us like a history of good games, groundbreaking games. We shouldn't just automatically trust them with our money like that. And we should wait and see what their products look like before we actually buy them.
You want to talk about No Man's Sky for a second?
Yeah, so No Man's Sky is actually on my list of
it is.
Of failed game delays, it's hard to say that it truly failed by its numbers. They sold 3.5 million copies within the first 2 days.
That's a lot.
Which is a lot. So, like, business-wise, I think they were successful.
Yeah.
However, in terms of critical success, I don't think so. I don't think it's not going to win any Game of the Year awards.
It already won.
No, it hasn't.
Show of the Years for like 3 years in a row. People are voting for this game at E3.
Right.
Like, this game is incredible. It's going to be this. It's going to be that.
Right. And I just think that this game has crushed my soul. It has crushed a lot of people's souls.
If you're not going to play it anymore, just tell me. I'll tell you what happens at the center of the universe.
I want to get to the center of the universe. So I'm still playing the game. Again,
No, you're not.
This is one of those games that we've talked about multiple times in the podcast. I am going to get to the freaking center of the universe in this game. To me, it's worth $30. It's not a $60 game.
You spent $60 on it.
I did spend $60 on it. Some people really like this game. I think there's still like... The last update I saw on concurrent players was 30,000 concurrent players. Which is nothing. On its first day, it was like 508,000.
Keep in mind, 3.5 million copies were sold.
Yeah. So, it is one of those games that it came out, there's a buzz about it, people bought it. However, as people start playing the game, they were all disappointed. And there are many articles, if you just like Google No Man's Sky flop, you just like articles out the wazoo about how bad No Man's Sky is. I even saw an article saying that the...
Shuhei Yoshida.
What?
You're talking about Shuhei Yoshida?
Saying that beefed it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shuhei Yoshida is the director of first-party studios at Sony.
Yeah, Sony tweeted it out.
So, obviously, No Man's Sky fits into that because it wasn't released. It was released on PC, but it wasn't released on like Xbox, so it's still kind of a first-party game. So Shuhei Yoshida is like... Yeah, Sean Murray, who was the producer behind No Man's Sky, really messed up with this game. He promised things that weren't there. And Shuhei's like... We're on a first-name basis, me and Shuhei.
Yeah.
Mr. Yoshida's like... Yoshida-san.
Yeah.
Is like... he really botched this. I'm interested to see what happens in the future. And I'm still interested in playing it. This is a quote from him. But all the marketing things he did was a mess. They didn't have a PR person. He was just kind of doing it by himself. Sean Murray was. So that was an issue. Essentially, he slammed him. I'm like, good.
They deserve to get fired on from Sony. Sony should shoot a broadside at him, saying like, you guys messed this up.
Yeah, but Sony also gave him a lot of money, and Sony put him in the top of their show of all their E3. So Sony's not without blame. But at the same time, like, it's been a month, or it's been more than a month since No Man's Sky came out, and ever since it was released, like, Hello Games nor Sean Murray have gone on record to say anything about people's expectations about what they plan on doing to fix these things. There's an update coming out recently, or just came out, but Sean Murray used to tweet multiple times a day, and now he hasn't tweeted in like a month. So everyone's like, what is happening to this? But also, Sean Murray literally got death threats when they delayed the game.
Okay, too far.
Before the game came out.
Yeah.
So imagine what he's getting now that the game came out, and it's a spectacle.
Look, you can be mad about a game, but death threats is too far. We officially do not endorse any death threats to anybody.
We don't endorse tweeting anything mean at developers.
Right. Constructive criticism only. Like, hey, I would have really liked to seen this feature. That's a good tweet.
Yeah.
That's constructive.
But maybe you gotta compliment sandwich it.
Yeah, it's like the Oreo.
Send 3 tweets. First one being, hey, I bought your game and it was really awesome.
I really like your logo. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. The second one being,
I'd like your controls to be a little tighter for shooting or something.
Like that.
But hey, your logo looks really good.
Gosh. And then wrap it up with another compliment. Hey, did I mention your logo yet? It's real nice.
Yeah. It's always a sandwich technique. You learn that in school.
Anyway.
So yeah, No Man's Sky. I consider it
a failure?
A failure in terms of game delays, because this game was delayed a lot.
Can you just consider it a failure as a game in general?
It was a failure. It did not meet its expectations.
Yes. I called that.
Still,
I mean, a lot of people call that, but
yeah, well, you called that for so long.
Went on record.
You were like months before ahead. You're like, this game's gonna flop. This game's gonna flop, and I was like, no, it's not. You don't know that. I'm gonna wait and judge. Which I did. I waited and judged, and I wasted $30 because it's only worth $30, and I spent $60.
That's $30 you could add on with Uncharted 4.
I know.
Although Uncharted 4 came out before this, just so you know.
Yeah.
You could have had it for a long time.
I know I could.
What else? I want to say something. I forgot. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? I don't know. We went through everything, didn't we?
Oh, I also called that Kingdom Hearts 3 is never coming out.
Yeah.
So, I don't broadcast the fact that I do a video game podcast on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people I see on Facebook that talk about how excited they are for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out. And I just want to be like, why? It's never coming out.
Just drop it on.
We have a whole episode dedicated to why we think Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to come out, in case you're wondering why I'm saying this. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go into it because it's like a 50-minute conversation at least.
Yeah, it's a long one.
But I just want to leave the link for all those people who are like, I'm so excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out. I'm like, it's...
All right, check your enthusiasm.
Like, why would you do that?
Just
check your expectations.
Yeah.
You copied and pasted this to our notes, and it's all formatted incorrectly, and it's really bothering me.
I know. Tony's OCD is what you should have... Another thing you should learn from this episode, he hates it when his games are out of order and having gaps, and also when formatting is wrong.
I'm going to figure this all out.
That'll be all right.
Size 12,
You'll make it
Arial.
Look, see, this is just what happens when you don't do any research. Then I have to do it.
You have bolded in the wrong spot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're right. The one time I didn't do research.
This is what happens when you leave me in charge.
Duh.
All right. Well,
current games with... Okay, so I can give a list of current games that I've been following that have delays, and if I think they're good or bad.
Yep.
Final Fantasy 15. Bad.
You think it's going to be bad?
It's been 10 years. Oh, this is a topic I want to talk about. We've talked about before. So, like I said at the top of this episode, a 3-month delay does not mean doom and gloom for a game. However, if that 3-month delay comes after a 10-year development cycle, don't expect much. And what I mean by that, I have 2 examples. Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy 15, 10-year development cycle, was delayed 3 months.
Yep.
They don't need 3 more months to do anything. They've worked on it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn, 2-3 year development cycle, maybe 5-year. They got delayed 3 months. All right, that's fine. You had to start from scratch. Mm. How often does Final Fantasy have to start from scratch? It's a franchise.
What do you mean?
They know what they're doing.
They should, but they're redoing everything. There's not been a Final Fantasy
they have to because it was originally scheduled for the PS3.
This is a whole new game from Versus 13. Totally different.
Yeah, no.
They just shifted the team over for that. We'll see what happens.
So Final Fantasy 15 is currently delayed. I think that's doom and gloom for that.
Will it come out? Will it actually be released?
That's hard to say. I think yes. I think it'll come out, but it will not be worth your money.
60. What price is your prediction on how much it's worth?
On how much?
Because after I play it, I'm going to give it a review.
Because at the Underpaid Gamers, we don't do reviews based on
A, B, C, D,
or 9 out of
10,
10 or out of 5. We do it based on currency.
Because we're all underpaid.
So I think and if we're going to expand on this, I think we need to list a game.
Mm-hmm.
So games normally now are set at a standard $60.
Yeah.
We need to list a game that is worth $60.
Mm-hmm.
We need to list some games that are worth less and list games that are worth more, because the game can be worth more.
Because we have I think we've had some reviews where games have been worth more than 60.
I don't know. The Last of Us would be worth more than 60, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's even hard. It's weird for me to say you agree with that, because you didn't even play the multiplayer on it.
I did play the multiplayer on it. I didn't play very much.
Oh, well, I thought it was awesome.
I wasn't good at the multiplayer. I didn't like it.
The Last of Us, I would almost give like an $80. I would give that to Uncharted 2 as well. Ratchet and Clank marketed for $40. If I paid $60 for that, I do not think I'd be upset.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Skyrim, I think Skyrim on anything but the PS3 would probably be $60. It ran poorly on the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
But Fallout 4, comparatively, Fallout 3 would be a $60 game. Fallout 4, $50 game.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't live up to my expectations that Fallout 3 did.
Yeah. I need something lower.
Something real low?
Call of Duty Ghosts would be like a
$30 game, $20 game,
$35 to $40 game, I would say. No good campaign.
That's been a little generous there.
What else do I got? Yeah, the Kingdom Hearts remakes. Kingdom Hearts 2.8, the one game's not even out yet. I would give that like a $45.
Really?
So for Final Fantasy 15, just based on that, no more than $45. Like, it can be a long game, and this encompasses more than just like time play. This encompasses like an enjoyment you get out of it, the lasting effect the game has on you.
If it was accepted by its general audience as good, too, filters into this.
Things like that. So I would not.
We have an elaborate equation for this.
Yes, we do.
So
and a unit of measurement.
It's weird units, you know. So it's official when it happens. So your guess. When we plug in the numbers,
I'm not going to say
in a couple months will be $45.
Any more than $45.
No more than $45. All right.
Horizon Zero Dawn, again, a game that hasn't come out yet, I think from what I see would be $60, even if not more. Tomb Raider, The Rise of Tomb Raider.
Oh man, that was a great game.
No, the game that hasn't come out yet. The original Tomb Raider, I think I would do 60. The new game, I think I would do less than 60 because it hasn't came out, because there is Xbox exclusivity. And I think they should have just launched at the same time. Like, it's been out for a year now on Xbox. Like, that really messed up some people, and I think you missed your chance to get $60 for that.
Well, I mean, I feel like that directly competes with Uncharted 4 in the type of game it is. And as a PlayStation guy, are you going to buy Uncharted 4? Or are you going to buy Tomb Raider?
I would buy both. But yeah, I'd buy Uncharted 4.
Touche. You buy Uncharted 4 first.
Well, if they came out on the same day, then yeah, probably.
Duh.
Well, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
probably.
Well,
give me a $60 game. I've talked about mine.
Yeah, but you took most of mine. Fallout 3.
Fallout 3, $60. Give me a $45 game.
Let me think of something that I've actually played. I want to say Star Wars Battlefront.
The most recent one?
Yeah.
$45?
$45.
So essentially, I guess with this, $60 would be I got exactly what I expected. $45 would be I got less than I expected. Above, so like $75, $80 would be I got more than I expected out of this.
Yeah.
This is a steal that I got this for $60.
Meaning that the value you derive from the game is more or less like per dollar. You got more value.
Yeah.
If you have it over 60, or if it's under 60, then it's like, oh, so I paid them more than I got out of it.
Yeah.
So like, The Last of Us, that was a steal at $60. So good.
They have it remastered for the PS4 for like $15 now.
I know, I bought it.
Yeah, so did I.
Because it came with the expansion, and I never played the DLC.
I haven't played Left Behind.
And so essentially I just bought the DLC, but I got the HD remake. Yep. So that's pretty cool. I'm trying to think if there's any game to me that's like less than... Oh yeah, I know one. A game that is less than 45, less than 30, which is the lowest I think I've given on the podcast, which was No Man's Sky. $15. The value of a game I spent $60 on.
Oh, is this the Final Fantasy remake?
They made... I didn't do any research before I bought this game.
Whose fault is that?
That's completely my fault.
Yeah.
Totally impulse buy. It's called Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, which automatically look at that name. What does that name say? It says this is a crap game.
Yeah.
Don't buy it.
They charge you like $5 per letter in that name.
I know they did. That game was so bad. I hated every second I played that game. Also, Metal Gear Solid, the one before Phantom Pain.
Ground Zeroes.
Ground Zeroes. I paid
$20.
No, I paid like $30 for it, and it was like the month before it came out on PlayStation Plus.
For free.
I was so mad.
That's
both of those things. Just like
Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes is
it's a one level
$7 game.
Yeah.
So I got it for free. So I got my money's worth.
Yeah.
And then some. You paid way too much.
Oh yeah, I returned it like the next day. I was so mad.
Yep.
So that would be a game that's really low. Because my expectations was that this is going to be a Metal Gear Solid game, and I got one level over and over again.
Yeah,
same thing with Final Fantasy. I knew it was going to be like somewhat like tactics based because I like looked at the back of the box, but then when I played it, it was like it was so obvious that it was like a PSP game. It was like it was like a mobile game that they just upped the resolution on. And I don't want to play that. I would buy a PS Vita if I wanted to play mobile games like that, and I don't. So I was really disappointed with that. Holy cow! I was mad. Had to return it.
So you pre-ordered Final Fantasy 15. Give me an expectation of
$5.
No, you pre-ordered $5.
Oh, what's
expectation
my
of what you think it'll be worth? What's Final Fantasy 15's worth to you?
I'm holding out for a 60.
Yeah,
I'm holding out for a 60. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to replace my favorite Final Fantasy game. I don't think it's going to even break the top 3. But I think it might still be good.
9, 7, 10.
9. Ooh, that's hard.
You just said
9 is number 1.
You can't say it's not going to break the top 3 without knowing what the top 3 are.
I know what the top 3 are.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of the order of the top 3. Obviously, 9 is number 1.
Okay.
But 2 and 3, it's hard to decide. Because 10 is good.
Okay.
But also 8 is good. Not as good as 9.
But you didn't say 7.
I didn't say 7, because 7's not in my top 3.
You have 8 higher than
Sacrilege!
7?
I know.
No, that's awesome. Because you have Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8 on Steam, and I said, Justin, which one of these should I play first? We just had this conversation like half an hour ago on this podcast.
Yeah, we did.
And you said 7 because the combat's easier, but I like 8 more, I think, something like that. So I downloaded 8 because F7. Who cares about 7?
Yeah. 7's combat system uses materia, so it's like its magic system makes more sense. 8 uses like this draw mechanic that I don't really like, but once you figure it out, it's easy once you figure it out. It just is kind of annoying at first. But I like the story of 8 way better.
So I have 8.
Enjoy the characters better.
It'll be interesting. So that's fun.
Yep.
So how much you want? You want 60?
I'm holding out for 60. I'm holding out. I'm hoping. Contrary to everything we talked about in this podcast, because we said when games get developed on multiple consoles, that's like one more push in the direction of terrible.
Yes.
Possible terrible. If it's a game developer that consistently gives us good product, which Square Enix has been hit or miss the last 10 years.
That's true. The last 10 years.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they were really good. I think early on, PlayStation 1 era, great. Before PlayStation, great. After PlayStation 1, hit or miss. 10 and 12 were good. 11 was a good MMO, but that was an MMO, so I didn't care.
13.
But 13, didn't really like 13 that much. Pretty disappointed. So
I have an expectation of $45 for Final Fantasy 15. If I spent $45, I don't think I'd be happy. Mm-hmm. This is a weird scenario where I have to spend $30, and I feel like I have to get more for my money for me to enjoy that game. Which maybe that means I should lower my dollar expectations.
Maybe. So I guess it depends on if we talk about $45 being generally it's worth $45 or to you specifically.
Yeah, I guess. See, I think generally it's worth $45. I don't think.
But to you, it may be worth less.
Like 30, probably.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, We'll see what happens. I'm just hoping for a new Final Fantasy 9, man. Give me a game like Final Fantasy 9.
You gotta wait till they remake Final Fantasy 7 on 4 different discs.
I know.
Episode.
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
I'm so disappointed. That's it, man.
I want to know what the listeners think. What the listeners think.
Are you on repeat here?
Yeah.
Man.
What games to you are worth $60? What games to you are worth $45? What games to you are worth $75 and above?
Yeah, let us know.
You can tell us on Twitter. That'll be the easiest. At UP Gamers Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Email us if you don't want anybody else to see at underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can leave a comment on SoundCloud and YouTube currently right now by typing in the comment box.
Yep.
iTunes you can't. But you can leave us a nice 5-star review and a rating.
Mm-hmm.
5-star rating and a review.
There it is.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, we do.
We don't know what goes on with Google Play.
Yeah, we don't check it very often.
I don't even know.
I know how to check it.
Oh, I don't.
But I know it posts on there because I made it happen. So go Android.
I don't know. I feel like this is one other thing, but I can't remember. I always forget.
SoundCloud? Did you talk about?
I did.
Posting on SoundCloud. Did you talk about
Website.
Oh yeah, underpaidgamers.com.
We have a website. I think you can comment there.
Yeah, you can comment
a lot of time
things.
there.
You can.
I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I don't spend a lot of time on the website.
Yep. It's okay.
Anyways,
So,
that's my charge to you, listener.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening, guys and girls.
Hey, gals.
Girls and guys.
Gals and guys.
People of the internet.
People of the world.
Thanks. You German people, you too.